Hey, not bad.
Okay.
Not
That's
bad at
good.
all, Martin. For 2,000 miles between us, I'd say it's pretty good.
We'll settle for this. Okay.
How are you doing? How's everything going for you, my friend?
Well, it's good. I'm busy. I've got lots to do and um, lots going on in music, but I think we're all getting a bit tired and fed up of it, and we're just getting the novelty's worn off. Really, I've had a nice summer's break, and now I'm ready for work.
Oh, yeah, definitely so. And I kind of want to start there because you have, coming up in 2021, of course, it's the 50th anniversary of Aqualung, and you have a tour plan for that.
Oh,
What is kind of your management tell you when it comes to that? I mean, obviously the shows are on the books, and hopefully it's all going to happen. What is your thoughts here? Are we going to make this happen? Hopefully.
yeah. I haven't cancelled anything. The last gig we did was in Chile, in South America, and we just got out. We were due to go to Peru and Mexico, and they closed the borders literally just as we were going to go there. So we got back to England, and I started postponing all the US tours, all the dates, put them back till now, September, October. And then in June, July, I phoned up the American promoters and said that I don't think they're going to happen. And they're going, yeah, they're fine. And eventually they go, I think you're right. So now they're back to April, May next year, and they might get postponed again. Nobody knows. But I don't cancel anything because I think the onus is on the theatres, the promoters. These are the guys laying their neck on the line, and the finances obviously are crucial to them. So I'm here ready, and when they say let's go, I'll be there.
Well, we sure hope it's this spring here in the U.S. You got some dates in
Yeah.
the U.K. prior to that. What's it like as an artist? I mean, for you, I mean, you've been around and done so many amazing things, but have you ever seen anything like this level of uncertainty from a musician standpoint? I mean, it's really unbelievable.
No, it's almost like a really bad movie. Well, it is a really bad movie. No, yeah, I think the beginning of it, everybody took it, laughed it off, but now it's not funny. So the humor's gone. But
Yeah.
you just got to focus, and I'm really positive that we'll be back. It's just when. And in the meantime, I'm going to get a lot of music out there for the fans. And we're doing it with this CD. I've got a DVD coming out for December, and I've written music. I'm playing. I'm even taking my exams, music exams, on flute.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
amazing.
on flute. Why? And I can't explain why, but I just think if I keep my brain as sharp as possible, keep playing, keep the fingers going, and the heart's passionate, then that's all we need.
Well, let's talk about the CD. It's a double CD. It's a double affair. It's 50 years of Jethro Tull. This
Mhm.
is a very ambitious effort. Do you feel like at the very least, if anything positive has come out of this, is that you've had kind of time to put the finishing touches on this? I know it comes out November 6th, but have you kind of used these last several months to put the finishing touches on this? Because I know it's a double album, and you've got some live versions of songs on here. Your band went in and re-recorded a lot of music. What was kind of the process of this for you?
Yeah, the album was recorded probably a year ago, and what we did, we made it a special package to only being sold at the gigs we did, because we did a 50 years celebration tour with Dee Palmer and Clyde Bunker, and we just thought we'd have something that only people could buy if they came to the concerts. So that was a limited edition, and then this one that's now on general release is that with the 4 bonus tracks that have come from the DVD. So it's been a long thought out process, and it started really with the fact that the real 50 years anniversary of Tull was 2008, and 18, and nothing happened. There was no big celebration. I heard nothing from anybody, and I just thought, well, that's not good. And then I realised that the next year was my 50th anniversary, because I came to the States in 1969. And I thought, it's special for me. It means a lot to me. I have so many great memories, and it's an important number. So I started planning it all back then in 2018, just to get something special to remember 50 years.
What was it like for you going in and, putting you and your band's kind of own stamp on so many of these classic tracks? I mean, talk about some of the guys that, that's in your band that you've assembled, and kind of what it was like. Was it kind of surreal going back in and doing some of these songs, and, knowing the arrangements and playing with them for 43 years, and now you're kind of redoing them, so to speak? What was that like for you?
It's felt very natural. I thought 11 years ago or 8 years ago, when I started the Martin Parr band, that I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do. I had a lot of solo material, but I felt that I need to carry the flag for Jethro Tull, for the brand, and I think because I went back to the early tracks to start off with, because these are the tracks that we hadn't played for many, many, many years in the latter days of Jethro Tull. And so it was bringing those back into the set was really exciting. And remembering those old riffs and old songs, it was really great fun. And it's sort of grown from that, where I've had so many ideas. When I look through the catalogue, there's so many songs, I just think, I can do something with that. Or another one, that's a great song, I'm just going to do it as it is. It's some you can play with, have a bit of fun. Others, you leave them alone because they're perfect. But I found it totally natural, mainly because the guitar is the focal point in many of these songs.
Absolutely the case. And your playing is so well regarded, and you were a part of this band and this legacy for 43 years. When the band disbanded in 2012, kind of talk about the last 8 years for you and what that's been like, because someone as well regarded as you, and with the resume that you have, there's probably a lot of things that you could have done, a lot of directions you could have taken musically, but to keep these songs alive, I think that is just incredible. And to put a band together like you've done, and to tour on that has been so rewarding to see you in that environment. What have the last 8 years kind of been like for you since the band sort of initially demised there?
Well, I think I've got a lot of friends, essentially, because I didn't know what was going to happen. I was sort of in the dark with nothing. And then as it slowly emerged, I found there's a lot of fans out there that wanted to hear me play. And then I found friends within music. I've had a lot of support, and I've got a great band. I've experimented with a few different musicians, and then finally arrived at the 4-piece band, which is the center of everything. And then I've had guests with Dee Palmer and Clive Bunker, and I've got the 2 girl singers that come out on the road with us, and who are on the album. So and I hate to say the word because it's overused, but it's a family. We are a family. We're a touring band, like the old days, when everybody was stuck in the back of a van, and you eat, sleep, work together. But that's the way we are. And I think Jethro Tull in the latter years had completely lost that whole essence of being a band. To have that back again is such a refreshing thing to do, and it's really good fun.
Would you say this is the most gratifying aspect of your career right now? Because you see so many people, and you were there for 43 years. You're a part of this legacy as much as anyone. But do you think that with what you've done, forging ahead and putting together the band that you want, and being able to kind of realize your own vision, has that been the most gratifying part of your career, doing it this way?
Yeah, I really think it is, because with age, there aren't a lot of good things about age. But I think what the one thing is, you have so many life lessons that you've learned, and I'm just comfortable with music. You know, I think in the early days you're very unsure of yourself. Not many people have that confidence, and sometimes you pretend you have the confidence by being super egotistical, being horrible. But whatever I am, I love playing. I love my guitars. I love playing live music. I love writing music because I'm just really at ease with it. It fits. It's like an old suit. It's just perfect. I don't need a new one. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with where am at the moment, and we get such support. It's fantastic. Like you.
Well, that's a given, and that should go without saying. Your playing has made such a lasting impact on so many people, and it's just so happy for you that this double album is coming out November 6th. You can go to the website martinbarre.com to get that pre-ordered right now. One of the things, Martin, that really fascinates me, and that there two of my favorite guitarists are you and Michael Schenker from UFO, and you both have said this exact same thing, and that is that you both try not to listen to other guitarists as not to be influenced by them. Talk about that, because that is something so fascinating, because everybody, Eddie Van Halen just passed away a couple weeks ago, and everybody talks about how much he influenced so many players. And someone like you, from your position, what was that like when you didn't really have a lot of influence? How did you formulate your style that way?
Well, I think he did influence me, and but not in a direct way. So
okay.
I listen to every guitar player on the planet, and from Julian Bream, Segovia, all the way through to Eddie Van Halen and Gary Moore. I love great guitar playing, but I don't want to play like anybody else.
Yeah,
I have, and I can't explain why I am that way. I think I'm just stubborn. So by default, I've just become my own person. I've never. I think in the early days, in the late '60s, all the blues came to England, and all the guitar players were trying to sound like B.B. King, Freddie King, Albert King. They're really trying to play those licks the same. And I just thought, no, don't do it. Leave them alone. They're perfect. So I think even then I realized that I didn't want to follow the crowd. And maybe that's my makeup is that I never want to go where everybody else goes. I'm sort of a little bit of, if everybody turns left, I'll go right, just to be obstinate. So, but I'm influenced by great playing. So if I hear an Eddie Van Halen solo, it makes me happy that somebody's playing great music, and he was such an amazing player. So yeah, but I couldn't play like him in a million years. Not good enough, but he inspired me to be as good as at what I do as he was in what he did.
Well, that is so well said, and I think that you have done such a great job of forging your own path. And that leads me to this. I mean, growing up in the 50s in the UK, where you're from, where we hadn't had a British invasion yet, where did you kind of formulate? Where does your musical background come from, just in general? We had no British. Everyone else on the show usually says, well, it was the Beatles, but you kind of predate the Beatles. Not to date anyone. You've worked with Paul McCartney. I mean, my goodness.
Yes.
What was sort of your genesis for your musical background?
Well, I think it was twofold, because the Beatles and the Stones, mostly people either like the Beatles or the Stones. People didn't like them both. The Stones were the rebels, the Beatles were really the guy next door.
Right.
Perfect. But I liked them both for the different reasons, and we played all their music. But I think we played all their music because that was what people wanted to hear. But funny enough, I was looking through my record collection in a plastic case, like a really old 60s case. I've got all my singles, and they're all from America. And I remember going to the record
Interesting.
store every week, and I'd get Dwayne Eddy, Eddie Cochran, Little Richard. I mean, Buddy Holly. We were just in the UK. We were just hungry for American music, and it dribbled through. You know, you got maybe one record a month, and we got that record and we played it till it wore out. So yeah, well, I have both those influences. I like to listen to everything that I possibly could.
I love that. It's so funny how many people from your era, whether it be like a Philip Campbell from Motorhead, people that a lot of UK artists will say Little Richard, and that's something that I had never quite put that together. And I know that Lemmy Kilmister from Motorhead, when his favorite artist was Little Richard, it's all kind of putting that that puzzle together now is really cool. And
well, we hadn't seen anything like it.
Right.
There was nothing like it in England. So when you saw these, you know, even Elvis Presley, when you saw them on TV, which was very rare,
yeah,
we were spellbound. So the English dream, the British dream was to go to America where all these guys came from and find out what was happening over there. So it might have been the British invasion, but we were there, you know, feeding. We were hungry for inspiration and music. So we needed America.
Well, that kind of happened at the time you did that. You came into I mean, Stand Up was your first album with Jethro Tull, 43 years, over 60 million albums sold. Everybody knows that the legacy is there. Because Jethro Tull is so different and what you guys did was so influential and you can't categorize it, right? What do you feel like now that in you know, here we are, you know, more than 50 years later, what the kind of the legacy for your time, those 43 years for you in Jethro Tull, what is the legacy there? When do you look back on that? I mean, obviously Stand Up was your first one. Aqualung is really where it kind of started, but when you look back on those years, what kind of comes to mind for you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't look back at the music. I look back at the times.
Yeah.
And I love being in America in the early 70s. I was so lucky to be in America in those times because it was just so exciting. You know, the way concerts were just crazy. It was all new, exciting. I mean, it's still exciting, but I think that they talk about the 60s in London, you know, the Carnaby Street thing and Notting Hill, the hippies. It was a very different time. It'll never happen again, but it was great. I mean, I truly believe all these periods in the history of music were really, that will never be repeated, but they were incredible. And I was so lucky to be a part of that. But musically, I don't see it as being old or retrospective. So the way I play Tull's music is as if it was written now, and I'm always totally focused on what's going to happen next year. How I'm writing a new solo CD. I mean, it's again, it's hand in hand. I love what I have to do with Tull. I'm proud of that history, but I'm really passionate about writing my own music and performing my own music. So I'm lucky maybe to have these two aspects hand in hand, and they're both important to me.
Well, Martin, yeah. Lost a connection there for a second. Sorry about that.
Okay, sorry.
Martin, congratulations on this album. I am so excited about it. We're so excited for you. 50 years of Jethro Tull. The website, martinbarre.com. You can get all the information on how to order that album, which it's available on Amazon, iTunes, and all good record stores, right? The ones that are still rolling.
Wherever they are.
Yeah, wherever they are. We got one right here down the street from my house. God bless them. And we are looking forward to the tour here this spring in the States. We can't wait to get you here. Hopefully that all happens without a hitch. We'll come out and see you and say hello the proper way. Thank you so much for staying up late. I know it's later out there in the UK and doing this with us. It means the world, Martin, and we can't thank you enough. And hopefully we catch up soon, my friend.
Thank you, Clint. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
My pleasure's mine. Thank you, Martin.
Yeah, you take care.
You too, sir.